Hi guys. It's been a while, or I was thinking about not videotaping today because it's been kind of a rough day for me. I've been struggling with a headache today. I want to kind of go over. I do want to tell you guys eventually about what our next steps are in the infertility process. But there's a lot going on before we kind of get there, I guess. So I want to kind of explain to you what I've been through in the past year or so and go from there. I've struggled with obesity for all my life since I was about 13, 14 years old. And I've had large breasts since I was around that age. And I didn't tell you in my infertility story videos, but I was diagnosed shortly after my miscarriage, and I started going through the fertility treatments. I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I guess I have a severe case of it, and that's sorry, I almost dropped it. So that's one of the reasons why I can't conceive, and that's why I'm heavy set, heavy breasted, and it's a lot of the problems that I have is because of the PCOS. And there's a lot of women out there that has PCOS, and you hear about them having kids, conceiving, and they have no hard, like, there is not a hard time for them to, they don't go through a hard time, they don't go through the process of infertility, and all, like, they don't understand all that. And then I've heard women that say, well, I got PCOS, or I know somebody that has PCOS, it's all right, you're gonna get pregnant. And they don't realize the severity that it can be. Just because they have PCOS doesn't mean that theirs is severe. It just could be, they might have some cysts on their ovaries. They might have some symptoms of PCOS. But mine is severe. So that's one of the reasons why I struggle with infertility. I was so large breast that I was a size M cup, and I could not buy my bras at just a regular store. I had to order them online. There used to be a store kind of close by to where I lived, and I had to drive, I don't know, 40 minutes or so to this store, and they made bras especially for big breasted women all the way up to size Z cup. And I always dealt with, people wouldn't they tried to avoid talking to me because of my large breast, or they would look at me and stare. I would have, and it, with my large breast, it made me look fatter. It made me look bigger. And so I dealt with that, and I changed my OBGYN last year, towards the beginning of last year, and he is fantastic. And he told me, he recommended me to have a breast reduction, and I wanted to have a breast reduction before. And when I was 18 years old, I went through the process of having a breast reduction, and I had a certain kind of insurance, and I went through the whole process. I was ready for the surgery. They marked me up, ready for, the breast reduction, and they come in and said, because I'm 18, my insurance canceled on me. And because I just turned 18. And So I didn't get my breast reduction, and I just couldn't afford it, throughout my marriage and stuff in my 20s and stuff. I got married when I was 19, and I couldn't afford it. And then the insurances that we had, because we went through different insurance throughout our marriage, they didn't approve it. So I did try for a breast reduction every chance that I got. And so recently, last year, my husband got a new job, better insurance, and I went to this new doctor, and he recommended me to have a breast reduction. And I told him my whole story of wanting to have it done and just can't afford it, and hoping that my insurance would pay for it. So he looked into it, and sure enough, my insurance was going to pay for it. So, long story short, in July 13th of last year, I got my breast reduction, and now I'm a happy C cup, and I'm happy to where I am, and I feel so much better, so much healthier. And this is all part of the infertility process. With having PCOS and having large breasts, that was like one of the first fix, because that put a lot of strain on my body. It's hard for me to exercise. I was limited to the activity that I was doing. And so that was the very first thing he wanted done. And I feel like a new person. I feel absolutely amazing. I can jog now. I can, exercise. I could do sit-ups and push-ups and just different things and jumping jacks. It's just different things that I could not do with large breasts, because it just killed me. I mean, it literally just, like, my skin was stretching when I tried to exercise, and it just was pulling, and it was just awful. It was just awful. I just couldn't do it. And so, next thing that he recommended me is to have a weight loss surgery. It didn't matter what weight loss surgery, but he wanted me to do weight loss surgery because people with PCOS have a harder time losing weight. And I have such a hormonal imbalance, and also it messes with my metabolism. I have a really low metabolism. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much I diet, how much, like, I can eat very little and exercise, I barely lose any weight, if any at all. And I fluctuate between 5 or 6 pounds daily. And I can lose 5 pounds, and, next morning I wake up and the 5 pounds is back. And that's just how my body reacts because of the PCOS. And long story short with that, my insurance, I went through a big process. My insurance denied me because I've been in obesity since I was a teenager, throughout my life. So if it was something new, they would go ahead and approve me. But since it's not, they denied me. So I'm really struggling with that. I've been eating healthier anyways, and a lot of veggies and fruits, and I try to stay away from red meats and different things like that. And I've been exercising a lot more every time I get a chance. Now that I don't work, it's easier for me just to get up and exercise when I don't have anything to do. And it's been rough for me. And my next thing is, yesterday, I went to the doctor, and I've been having these really, really, really bad headaches. And I didn't know if it was like PCOS related, because almost everything that has happened to me it's PCOS related. So I found out that it's not PCOS related. He thinks something's going on in my head. So now I have to have a head CAT scan on my head done. And so I'm waiting for the phone calls to schedule that, to get that done. Meanwhile, I was put on a new medication. I've been on some strong headache medications, and they just have not been working because these headaches, they start and they last for like a week or two nonstop, and it's horrible. I'm going to go ahead. I'm running low on time on this video, so I want to split this video up into two parts. So once this video is done, click on to the part 2, please, and that way we can continue this conversation. And I'm hoping that all this that I'm explaining to you, if you struggle with it, maybe it will help you as well. I'm kind of a jumble mumble mess because this new medication, I took it today and it's just knocked me for a loop. So just watch my second video and I'll see you in a little bit.